everything is not a catch-all for everyone, but historically and for the most part, that's the way it is. But as a result, and us being colonized, long story short, we have picked up on those traits. That has never been a part of our culture. First of all, our men never treated us like that. So we never responded the way their women responded to them. And so when we do acknowledge our feelings, well, first we have to realize that acknowledging feelings is human and that they are not always going to be positive. But being in this culture, because they fake it until they make it, they have a culture of being disingenuous. And because they are so disingenuous, they expect the same from us. Mm-hmm. And we know that that is not at all in our best interest, not for moral reasons, spiritual reasons, not for health reasons. We all know once you start internalizing things, it affects us stress-wise. We have the highest numbers, high blood pressure, heart disease, everything else when it comes to, internalizing stress and issues of that nature. But also when it just comes to being people, period. But when we talk about just dehumanizing the Black woman, we have to take off the capes, for one, and realize that it is okay to show our emotions, regardless of what someone else thinks. And you all talked about grace, and I understand exactly what you're saying. And in my mind, I always, and you're right. And my thing that I touched on as far as the media is concerned, and I'll come back to that point, is that it is so interesting. And the thing that totally ticked me off is that there were 3 or 4 other women in that category. And the camera went straight to her, straight to Sora Auntie, and no one else. So I'm pretty sure that they were not over there turning cartwheels because they didn't win, and I'm sure that they were disappointed, and that's fine. And so there's a difference between disappointed and being angry, okay? And so, and it's fine for her to be disappointed. But going back to the point of grace, I always expect Black women to be authentic and be graceful and be classful. Meaning that, yes, I'm going to see the disappointment in her face because she's a well-accomplished actress. She deserved it. But also, I know Sora Auntie also knows that Jamie Lee Curtis is also a well-accomplished actress that deserved that award as well. And I'm pretty sure that she shook her hand, gave her a hug, and gave her accolades as well. And that is what I mean by showing that Black women are graceful, and that we are smart, and that we are compassionate, and that we are beautiful, and that is exactly what she did. And that those two things can exist at the same time. And it is okay for her to be disappointed, but it is also okay for her to show up as the queen that she is. And I'm sure that she did that, but you never saw that part.
We didn't see that part.
And that is what makes you a whole person. They only want to show that part where they have reduced her. Yeah. They want to make a replay. They wanted to make a replay, which is so contradictory and antithetical to everything that they talked about last year. You had your fool last year that got up there on that stage and acted disappointed. Mm-hmm. But when they wanted him to sit and be quiet and say, oh, you should have just been quiet. You should have dealt with that at the appropriate time and in a different way and should have done yada, yada, yada. Well, Auntie did that. She sat there. She sat there this year, but it was a problem. So, whatever. But they never show, and I get it, they will never be able to, and they will never even understand what fully embodies the Black woman. So I understand how they will never be able to show that. But they will never try. They will never try.
And that is the point. Not to cut you off, Sarah, but to just to interject